All right, so you may have heard about vibe coding. Vibe coding is breaking out all over the internet because it's allowing non-coders and creative people to actually get in and create different apps that can influence and create a whole business in record time. And it's really a barrier that's opened up a lot of options for people. So I'm just on Google Trends right now, and you can see I've searched for vibe coding. Vibe coding even has a topic, and then Claude Code is in yellow here. And you'll see that it started peaking right around here. And this is like the peak of AI coding, where people could start doing things and creating things with code. And I've been able to do this, but you'll see here that the vibe coding has really picked up. And this is a very dramatic shift over time. When you get to almost 100, like boom, this is very high. So very interesting. And you can see here that there are some related queries that are on the breakout. What is vibe coding? What is vibe AI coding? Vibe meaning all that sort of stuff. So we're going to get into it. But first, I wanted to just tell you about this is like the second wave of interest. First, there was interest in AI, in people being able to use ChatGPT to do things. And this is following that. So the leader really, in terms of benchmarks up till now, up till recently, has been Claude Code by Anthropic. And so this is, a lot of people have been using it to code. You'll see some of the other companies we're going to get into later on here. And I was able to create some interesting things just by using Claude. And it understands coding. You're able to ask it questions. So as a non-coder, it's going to be a great resource. And when you back down to one of these chat bots, Claude is the one that has the best grasp of code. But there's a whole new class of ones that are coming out, and there's a whole different range that we're going to go through. Canva just recently this is about May 2025, and they've just launched Canva Code, and this allows people with no coding experience to create digital experiences. Yeah, to create interactive digital experiences. And I actually watched the keynote for Canva. It was pretty interesting. If I can find the link to it, I'll put a link to it as well. But basically, this really breaks down the barriers. And if you've used Canva, certainly there is a little bit of a learning curve, but it makes it far accessible. And it's essentially outdated tools like Photoshop. Now, I know there's still some specific use cases for people that use that, but that was one of the softwares. I've used a ton of software, probably over 200 different softwares over the past few years. And that was one that I could just never really wrap my head around. So when Canva came out, it made a lot of sense to me. And now they've broken this down so you can actually create AI code and have Canva do things just by using text prompt. So that's interesting as well. And the other thing that I wanted to point out was OpenAI. So OpenAI actually wanted to buy Cursor, but they opted for Windsurf. And Cursor and Windsurf, these are like more advanced, and real coders will use these. And we're going to get into this later in the course. Here's Cursor. You can download it. And you can chat with it, but also access the code. It's probably a little bit more complicated. Both Cursor and Windsurf are going to be on the high end, rather, of complexity. You may need to have a little programming to feel comfortable with these programs, but keep in mind there's a race to, again, grab hold by these companies, because ultimately, at the end of the day, OpenAI, they've released Sora, and then Google came out with VO. And so it's a race to release these things, to announce these things, and to buy up these companies for market share as things are just happening so fast. That's good for us as users because it means that development can happen very quickly. So I just wanted to point out that OpenAI wanted to buy Cursor, and their revenue, listen to this, has been growing astronomically, doubling on average every 2 months. Their current annual recurring revenue is about 300 million. And the company actually walked away because OpenAI wanted to buy it because they thought they could get more. Anysphere has been in talks to raise capital about $10 billion for Cursor. So this is one of the premier platforms in vibe coding, and it's very interesting. So they actually instead got turned down. OpenAI got turned down by Cursor. Cursor wanted to remain independent. Personally, I think that's a smart move because I think this is a space that's going to see a lot of money influx into it. But they purchased Windsurf with a $3 billion offer. And Windsurf is smaller right now. The annual recurring revenue is about 100 million, up 40 million in February. It's, again, growing very fast. And yeah, this is very interesting. And also Anthropic, I mentioned earlier, and Google models have released AI models that are outperforming OpenAI on coding benchmarks and making them the preferred choice for that. So there's a lot of space coming. There's a lot of interest in this whole field, and it's a really great time to learn about vibe coding. So I'm really excited.
Hey guys, so it's Andrew here. I created a short guide that's going to help you get started with vibe coding. It's going to give you some things that I wish I knew when I started vibe coding and save you a lot of time, money, and be able to so you can get better results quicker. And it's totally free. So there's going to be a link in the description. You can pick it up, get it for free, and start your vibe coding journey. If you have any questions, reach out. I'm more than happy to help.